To start off, I'd like for us to turn our Bibles to Matthew chapter 25. I'm going to read the parable of the talents starting at verse 14. I'm reading from the Amplified Version. For it is like a man who was about to take a long journey, and he called his servants together and entrusted them with his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each in proportion to his own personal ability. Then he departed and left the country. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he gained 5 talents more. And likewise, he who had received the 2 talents, he also gained 2 more talents. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came and brought him 5 more, saying, Master, you entrusted me 5 talents. See, here I have gained 5 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, you upright, honorable, admirable, and faithful servant. You have been faithful and trustworthy over a little. I will put you in charge of much. Enter into and share the joy, the delight, and the blessedness which your master enjoys. And he who had the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you entrusted 2 talents to me. Here I have gained 2 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, you upright and faithful servant. You have been faithful and trustworthy over a little. I will put you in charge of much. Enter into and share the joy which your master enjoys. He who had received the 1 talent also came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a harsh and hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you had not sown. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is your own. But his master answered him, You wicked and lazy and idle servant, did you indeed know that I reap where I have sowed, and gather where I have not sowed? Then you should have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent away from him, and give it to the one who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will be furnished richly, so that he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what he does will be taken away. Before I hand you off to the MCs for this year, I want to share a little bit about how Priscilla and I practiced for last year's talent night. I remember Johnny one day chasing me down in the parking lot and asking me, Sam, can you please MC for talent night? And I told him, you know what, I've never MC'd anything before. Are you sure you want me to do it? And he said, yes. So I asked him who was the other MC, and he said it was Priscilla. And I said, okay, Priscilla, okay, MCing comes naturally for Priscilla. Right, but so I went and talked to Priscilla and I said, you know, we have to practice. We have to really practice a lot because I've never done this before. She said, okay, no problem, I'll call you. She called me and I guess I missed her call. And I called her back and I got a message saying that her voicemail box was full. And I was like, okay, here it goes, you know. Our practice, that's the end of our practice. But anyway, we got together and she said, Sam, have you watched the Oscars and the Grammys? What does that have to do with talent night? She said, well, that's my level, she said. And I said, okay, I think you have the wrong person here. My level is somewhere down here. You are aiming up for the stars. But let's do one thing. Let's not limit God. Let's aim for the stars, right? So she said she wants to make it as entertaining as Whoopi Goldberg does. And I was like, okay, you can do that part. I'll support you in whatever way I can. And so let's all do our best and use our talents for God. So without any more further ado, here are your MCs for tonight. Tina, Ethan, and Aaron Thomas. Let's give them a big hand.